Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, welcome to. Hold on, y'all. This is counting down. That ain't what we supposed to be. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast. I am one of your hosts, Miss Mo, and this is
92 Stacks.
and we are the two ladies who make up the Proud Mary podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. So, welcome to this week's episode. We have so much that we're going to be talking over today. I promise, Dag, it seems like a week is too long. With this president and all this mess that's going up and getting cleared out, it is just a little too much going on for 7 days. But before we get into everything and what we're going to talk about, we got a little bit of housekeeping to do, and I want to ask you guys to do us a favor. First thing is this: if you have not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Second thing, if you are not sharing, if you have not shared already, we need you to share this live with your share with your friends and your family. Get them on in there, because y'all know it is no take on what's going on like Stags and Mads. So definitely do that. And then lastly, hit the thumbs up button. You coming in, might as well just go ahead and say you like it before you even get started, because you know it's going to be some content that you're going to like. So without further delay, we're going to go into our first topic or area for the day, subject matter for the day, and that is let's talk politics. Y'all know one of our favorite subjects, definitely one of Stag's favorite subjects. And we are gonna get in, Stag. What is the first thing? What we talking about today? What we delving into today? Please let us sister know.
Well, right now, as we speak, I saw that Congress is debating the War Powers Act. So
Mm.
that's going on, and they're still trying to put that bill on the floor to kind of strip his war powers, where
Mm-hmm.
they would require him to get permission from Congress
Mm.
before he did any military action. Um, I know my opinion of that. What's your opinion of that?
I it's interesting to me. I just think the problem is they just don't like Donald Trump, because everything that he is doing, other presidents have done or said that they were going to do. I watched something today and I saw Hillary say she was going to do the same thing. I saw Biden even make a comment about what needed to be done in regards to Iran, and I did not hear anybody have a problem with it. So for me, I think it's just another case of a severe case of TDS, a severe case of
Hmm.
being sore losers, which we know the Democrats are. And if they don't have any other option, don't have anything else to do, they're going to always find a way to emotionally bring people in to distract from the fact that they don't have any policy, that they are not doing
Hmm.
anything, they don't know what their voters want. And,
Hmm.
so when all else fails, blame Donald Trump. And that's it. You on mute, I think.
Is
Yeah, what's your take?
I think that it is. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that it is just them again trying to um, encroach on the executive branch,
Mm-hmm.
because Congress doesn't even have access to
You said they don't have access to what?
find out what's going on around globally through him. So to say that with the intelligence that he has, that he would have to wait for them to go through their debates and vote, and this person is not voting and that person is not voting. What if a missile is coming towards us?
Exactly.
He has to be able to have the um, the room to make decisions and
Mm-hmm.
move, which is why foreign policy is in his lane.
Mm-hmm.
That's not in their lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's unconstitutional, I believe, because those powers come with war. I mean, with the Constitution, that's a part of his power as the president to be in order for him to be able to protect us, he has to be able to make these decisions. And the fact that we voted for him,
Mm-hmm.
I said then that I trust his decision making when I voted for him. I didn't vote
Yeah.
for Biden because I didn't trust his decision making.
Exactly.
I didn't vote for Kamala because I didn't trust her decision making. But
Exactly.
I trust his decision making. I voted for him to make these calls, and I trust that he has the information and well, I kind of know what he's doing, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
cool with it. I'm with it.
I'm the same. I'm the same. Like, of course, I say this with anybody. You're not going to agree with everything anybody does. I
Mhm.
so I'm not sure why people would think. And I didn't agree with everything Trump did before I voted for him. You know what I'm saying? But there was no question that he was the best candidate. He was the best person for the office. All of those things. So I don't, I trust him. I definitely trust him when it comes to these kind of, this kind of stuff, and knowing how he thinks, knowing that he is he's strategic, way more strategic than people give him credit for or to think that he's doing.
Mhm.
They're so used to these old standard politicians that we've had in office that,
Mhm.
which I guess in a sense it kind of explains why they would continue to vote Democrat. They don't, even though they're not happy, they don't want to change. And so they are now, it's kind of like of addiction. You're like addicted to not having what you want, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but and so I don't I think that's really what it is, because there's no way in the world they are oh shucks. Guys, I'm not sure. We're gonna have a stat call back in. Y'all know me. There we go. Y'all know I'm the super producer too, so I'm doing things. Hey, hey, hey! Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I didn't hear the end of it though.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So I just said I think that they're just addicted to, they're used to being disappointed. They're used to not being happy. They're used to not getting what they want from the
Mhm.
people that they vote in office. And so that being the case, this is foreign to them. And sometimes
Mhm.
when things are so foreign, it's scary and you fight it off. Like most times, people generally, sad to say, people fight off the things that's the best for them. I know most instances that's what I experienced.
Mhm. Okay, so now we have to get on to the lady of the hour, right? When we talk of politics, right?
uh,
No more Jasmine Crockett after this
Let me see. Do I got some
after this
sounds?
Congress.
Let me see if I got some sounds. How about a round of applause? Yay! Crockett is gone. No more rocket
No
socket.
more.
Put her in your pocket, Crockett.
Put her in your pocket, Crockett. I like that.
Yeah, stick a fork in her. She is done, baby.
She is over with finally, finally.
Now you
But
know
didn't
what's
I say
funny?
from the
We
beginning?
Go
You
ahead.
remember when we did that show when I told you that I had saw that she was planning to announce
Uh huh.
her run for Senate that next day, and
Uh
I
huh.
told you that night we said it on here, and I told you she wasn't gonna win, and the Democrats wasn't gonna support her. Didn't I tell you that?
Well, all the black ones. I can't wait to see. Hey, Shahi. I can't wait to see
Hey, Shahid.
what her uh what the turnout was like. Like how many black people voted for her. That's
They
what I
said
can't
that
wait
the
to see.
turnout in her district in her district
Uh
was
huh.
only 24%.
What generally that is how it is. Like remember I was saying that I was like y'all be so busy talking about midterm, this gonna happen. I'm like, do y'all realize people don't be watching? People don't be voting. They do not be
Mm-mm.
voting.
And
So
I'm happy about another one too. Dan Crenshaw out of
Who
there.
who is that? I'm sorry.
Eye
Who is
patch
that?
man. Eye patch man.
Look, you finna make me look him up.
He's a rhino. He wear a go ahead, look him up.
Dan
He
Crenshaw.
wear eye patch all the time. Yeah, Dan Crenshaw.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know. Let's see.
Let's move to the Republican results in Texas.
Oh, well, let me just put a little just a little bit of overlay on this. Let's see what these people got to say real quick. And then, of
Mhm.
course, you got to tell me. I know you'll be able to hear it in a second. I got to turn the volume up. But let's see. Let's see what they talking about real quick.
We'll talk about Ken Paxton and Cornyn, who are going to go to a runoff in a moment. But let's start with Dan Crenshaw. This is a very well-known Republican.
So happy.
We're kind of reviled.
It's just a gift. It's such a gift.
Yeah. Why actually, I want to ask Emily. Why do people hate this guy? Why do you say that?
He got absolutely obliterated, by the way. It was 50, as of right now, with 95% of the votes in, it's 55.8% to 40.6%. Crenshaw, I believe, got elected. I mean, he got trounced.
And Emily's very happy. And we're like, he seems like the other Republicans.
Standard issue.
Okay, so I don't know him. And I'm not sure if any of our watchers, anybody who's watching, knows him as well. So Stag, tell us why we don't like him and what's wrong with him.
He is a rhino and he tried to push red flag laws. He used him being a veteran and being wounded to try and get people to go for red flag laws. That's when he started getting tanked, and he's been a rhino. Trump didn't endorse him either. I didn't find that out until yesterday that Trump didn't endorse him, but I've never liked him.
Okay,
Never
so
liked him.
you know me. I don't have no problem letting it be known when I don't know about something. What's a red flag law?
So the red flag laws were laws that Democrats were pushing during Trump's first term, and it means that if anyone can call the police and say that you are a threat to yourself or others, and the police would come and take your weapons, and then it is on you to prove that they are wrong. But for everybody's safety, they say they gonna come immediately and remove your weapons, and then you got to go to court and prove that you okay to get your weapons back. That's a violation of your Second Amendment, and that means anybody could do it. Somebody who just don't like you, a neighbor that's trying to get back at you, an
Mm-hmm.
ex, you know what I'm saying? And now
Mm-hmm.
you've lost your Second Amendment right, and then you got to spend all of this money to get your weapons back. That's no,
Yeah, and how
no.
could he be a quote unquote a Republican and even want to support something like that?
Rhino, rhino. Texas is full of rhinos.
Are like the old school, I'd say, what people would say probably racist Republicans that people are talking
No,
about?
no, no,
No.
no. No, rhinos are just people who pretend to be Republicans to get those seats because they run in Republican districts, but they vote with Democrats. Or if
Okay,
they're in a really
I got it.
red area, if they're in a
I
really
got it.
red area, then they vote everything with Republicans pretty much, or they're the ones that will sabotage the Republican agenda and act like I just can't vote with this. And it's just because their job is to hinder the advancement of the conservative agenda and help to push forward the liberal agenda. So those are the ones that Democrats will always call to, and then they'll put their name on a bill, so the Democrats will have a talking point that this is bipartisan. This is bipartisan, and you
Okay.
hear them when they get on the. It's a bipartisan bill, yeah, with a rhino and a bunch of Democrats.
Okay. Okay. I got it. I got it now. All right. Well, I want to. I guess they're saying she broke silence. So let's hear what your favorite person,
Let me hear her cry.
your favorite
Let me get my
Texan.
cup for her tears.
Hold on. Okay.
Super early.
Oops.
Crockett tears taste good.
You so silly. Hold on. Did I mute? I think I hit the mute. Hold Hold on, y'all. I'm doing too much.
Hey, Jabo.
What am I doing, y'all? Hold on. Shucks. Okay, let's see. I might have muted. There we go. Okay, let's see now, y'all. Hey, Jabo, too.
Good morning, y'all. I know it's super early. Uh,
Oh, she went out. She must know. Oh, wait. Yeah, she went out. Hold on.
how
Let's see.
I work
She got Biden Wi-Fi, y'all. So
words can express how excited you made me as I was out on the trail, working to stretch people's imaginations. It's clear that we still have a lot of work to do, even within our party, about making sure that we invest in kind of just doing the right thing sometimes. It's all good though. No matter what, whether it's Kim Paxton or John Cornyn, anyone would be better. I'm just saying. So again, I just wanted to say thank you specifically to the people of Dallas County. I love you so very much. And I woke up still heartbroken about everything that took place. I've got your emails. We received your phone calls about all of the confusion and the many people that just didn't get to vote. We have to fix this going forward. We should not have people being disenfranchised in 2026, even in Texas, specifically in a Democratic county. It breaks my heart. At the end of the day, we were about to file a lawsuit so that we could keep the lines open. The county party chair got it done before we did. And, the judge did the right thing. Texas Supreme Court stepped in. So I just wanted to say again, thank you. I am back to work. I am proud to serve Texas 30 until January of 2027. And then let me send mad love to my pastor, Pastor Freddie Haynes, who will be the congressman
It's winter
for
term over.
Texas 30. So God bless y'all.
Okay, so what she was talking about was um they said that they had changed it from like county-wide
Mm-hmm.
voting to you had to vote in your precinct, right?
Mm-hmm.
And although they had been telling people this, many people didn't know. So when they showed up at the polls, they were told that they had to go to their precinct to vote. So the Democrats filed a lawsuit and wanted to leave the polls open longer. And they were granted that, but not Republicans. And they said because Republicans didn't ask for that relief.
Let me as
But
a
still, they kept the polls open later, and she still lost.
well, here's the thing. As a fellow in that area voter, right? They're
Mhm.
absolutely right. They didn't just do that in Dallas County, they did that in my county as well. And guess what I did? When I pulled
Mhm.
up to the place that I normally vote at and it wasn't no people there, guess what?
Mhm.
I it was another we voted at two places before. So then I, with
Mhm.
my infinite wisdom, said, let me drive to the other location, and I saw all
Uh-huh.
these signs and all this stuff, and I knew I was in the right place. And I just walked on in
Mhm.
there and cast my vote. So I'm not understanding. I get it if you want to wait to vote on the day, but
Mhm.
they did they tried the federal judge, what a district, whatever the judge in the area tried to extend it to they could vote to 9 o'clock. The Supreme Court
Mhm.
judge said no, still closed at 7. But if you're in line, you can still be in line and vote. But again, she still did not get, I think she got like 60 or 70% of the Dallas County votes. She didn't even get all the votes. So it was not going to make her win. I don't know why she's sitting up there like she should have asked Stag and said she wasn't gonna win.
I said that as soon as before she even announced it, because we were talking about it the night before she announced that she was running. And I said she wasn't going to win. She wasn't going to win. And I said the Democrats were not going to uh, back her.
I didn't check and see if Shaw didn't got
Because
it.
she couldn't win Texas. That was easy. I knew she couldn't win a statewide seat here because she was still, excuse me, she was still talking about
she talked too much
racism
about
and
us. Yeah.
all of that stuff, and that's not gonna win in Texas. And her platform was taking away guns, illegal immigrants that they want them in here, and what was the other one? She was gonna get Medicare for all for Texas. How? That ain't your job. You in the federal government, you can't legislate Medicaid for all in Texas.
When we the state, they didn't even expand it. It didn't even expand Medicaid. So now you could at least just say, can we expand it first? You gonna get it for everybody.
I think that's what she said, expanded in there. But
Girl,
that's what they mean when they say expand. They want everybody to get it.
They've been trying that since the beginning of the beginning of the ACA. What year is this?
Yep.
16 years later.
2026. Because their plan all along with the ACA was to move to universal health care. That's why the ACA was the way it is, because their plan was to break health care. If it keep going like it is, it's going to become so unaffordable that the only other thing pretty soon everybody's going to be on the marketplace and the government paying for it. So yeah, that was their plan anyway. Well, they break it, and then they have the solution is their socialist policies.
I know we're talking about this. I have to give this lady a shout out real quick. You can keep going, but I just got, me, I always got a couple little snippets. Dang, we got some stuff. Okay. Did you see Waltz and your boy Ellison today?
No, I didn't. But I didn't even know they were on until like late.
Girl,
and I didn't have time to watch it myself. But I heard they exposed a lot of some fraud report that they were talking about. Is that the fraud report that we were talking about before? Like we were quoting from it because they didn't bring it up in the last hearing, the fraud report.
Yeah,
but it was out there.
I gotta find it. They actually, your boy Keith, I gotta find it because you gonna fall out. They asked him about their recording of him, and you could tell his wife was behind him. That she had her little rap on. They asked him about.
I'm gonna tell you something else about him too that happened when he was running for Attorney General.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, when he was running for Attorney General, his ex-wife came out and his child to say that he used to, he used to beat her up and stuff, and she had pictures and police reports and all of this stuff. Yeah, it was a big old thing, and he still got elected, and Democrats still supported him. And the media did not talk about it. She was all over social media talking about him. The media didn't even mention it.
Yeah, well, they're not gonna talk about nothing that's gonna put anybody that they like in a bad light. It just ain't gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. So before I get to that, before I show her, because this is why I want to talk about her, what are your thoughts? Where are you at? I know we talked a couple of days ago about where we're at with Iran. Where are you at now, hearing the things that you've heard?
I'm still in there with my president, and I've learned a lot more about his reasons, which is what I believe his reasons were initially. It's long-term national security and global security, right? You can't have Iran around and they're constantly threatening the rest of the world because Marco Rubio they don't make decisions um, on geopolitical matters. They make their decisions on ideology, right? And that's not a good thing for the rest of the world. And anyone who would say we got to have peace, well, sometimes in order to get peace, you got to go to war first.
Right.
Okay? If you want peace, sometimes you got to go to war because we cannot live in peace as long as that regime is in power. We'll never have peace because we'll always be wondering if they developed a nuclear weapon, always trying to negotiate with them. We will, all the proxy wars, the terrorist organizations, everything will always be there. And we will always have to negotiate with them.
I'm trying to get your girl. Stag is frozen. Give me a second. I mean, well, not to give us a second. I'm gonna let y'all see what I'm trying to see. I don't know if y'all like Caroline, but I love me some Caroline. And to,
That's a fact, especially you. No, listen to me.
okay, so yeah, this is it. I came right at the right place. All right, y'all. So I don't know if you saw this today. This is
Their own lives for the rest of us in this room.
This is Caroline, today's press conference. Dag will be right back in. But of course, CNN, what's the girl named? Caitlin, whatever her name is. She tried to basically catch her off guard or say something negative about what Hexeth had said. Hold on, guys. Let me get Stag back in here. There she goes.
Yeah, why do I keep disappearing?
I don't. You know what it is that I feel like because you freeze on the internet, and so I can kind of tell when it's about to when you about to go, because it'll.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard me say?
Um, you was with your president. Oh, Marco Rubio. You said Marco Rubio said what he said, and you getting more understanding.
What they say is like I said, the world can't live in peace as long as that regime is running that country. We will always have the moments where we're wondering if they developing a nuclear weapon. They always going at it with Israel, the terrorist organizations that they fund that kill American soldiers overseas. All of this negotiation and stuff, and they're not making decisions based on geopolitics. That's what Marco Rubio said. They're not making decisions based on geopolitics. They're making decisions based on their ideology in its extreme, right?
Yep.
It says that the rest of us shouldn't exist. So we can't have them there. And if they don't want to come with peace and negotiate on our terms, then they can't be here. That's how you get peace. That's done with, and now we have peace.
Yeah, that's what the president says.
So this is a peace mission. This is a peace mission.
And everybody wanted everybody. I mean, all these years they know there is no way with that particular regime in there is it going to ever be a time where everybody in their country is just doing what they got to do. Like, you shouldn't have to be worried. You shouldn't be in no country worrying about if another one gonna be trying to take over. Like, that just don't make no sense. But I want to show you my little rock star. That's what I call her. So Caitlin asked her question. I guess Pete Hegseth was doing a press conference, and he must have mentioned basically that he was saying, of course, he was praying for the families and feel sorry for the lives of the soldiers that lost their lives. He was like, but he was saying, but also you're putting this all on headline and not the other things that that'll be true, because you really just want to make Donald Trump look bad. Everybody has said, they've all sent their condolences and stuff like that. So Caitlin tries to ask her, I think I'm at the right point, but y'all listening.
And for every American across the country, and for every troop that is based in the Middle East. That's what these...
Hegseth was complaining that it was front page news about these 6 service members who were killed.
That's not what the secretary said, Caitlin, and that's not what the secretary meant, and you know it. You know you are being disingenuous. There is not... We've never had a Secretary of Defense who cares more.
Drones get through, or tragic things happen. It's front page news. I get it. The press only wants to make the president look bad.
Yeah,
we cover the deaths of U.S. service members under every president.
The press does only want to make the president look bad. That's a fact. Especially you. No, listen to me. Especially you, and especially CNN. And the Secretary of Defense cares deeply about our war fighters and our men and women in uniform. He travels all across this country to meet with them, to connect with them, and your network has hardly ever probably reported on that. You also had the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Chairman Kane, who's a brave patriot, standing alongside the secretary at the Pentagon this morning, again expressing his condolences to these families. And I just told you that the President of the United States will be attending their dignified transfer. So please, that's not making the president look bad. That's showcasing that. And we expect you to cover that as you should. We expect you to cover that as you should, Caitlin. But you and your network know that you take every single thing this administration says and tries to use it to make the president look bad. That is an objectable fact. I don't think covering troop deaths is trying to make. If you're trying to argue right now that CNN's overwhelming coverage is not negative of President Donald Trump, I think the American people would tend to agree, and your ratings would tend to disagree with that as well. Go ahead.
What you take, Stag? You muted. Did you like that?
Yes, indeed. And I like that she put them on the spot and say, you're just trying to make the president look bad, because that is the way that they're reporting on how things are, as if it's all going terrible. Iran is this big power that's winning and all of this. No. That's not what's happening. But I didn't get to see that press conference. But it's funny because I was talking to Yunki about this situation earlier today, and she told me, she said after she talked to me, she watched the press conference that came on about, I think she said 1 o'clock. And when I was talking to her, I said to her that people keep on talking about they started it so that we don't have to talk about the Epstein files. I said, we can still talk about the Epstein files. I said, the administration doesn't do one thing at a time. We can walk and chew bubble gum. And she said Carolyn Levin had said it because one of the reporters asked her a question.
Yeah, she
and when she said it, she said she bust out laughing, and she said, Stag just said that.
Yeah, she said the president can walk and chew gum at the same time. Okay.
So I also wanted to say that he made it clear she had let them know that what the objectives were, right? And I would like to say that that's one of the things that we never got from these others. I don't remember what the objective was in Ukraine, other than we got to stop Russia. We just got to keep pushing back. The objectives are to destroy their missiles, annihilate their navy, and they said we've done that because we've destroyed 20 ships so far and one of their top submarines. And for the first time, we've used a torpedo, I think she said, since World War I or World War II.
I think it was two.
They're terror proxies. They can't terrorize the region anymore, so that gets rid of the proxy people, all those different terrorist groups. And Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. And so far, we have already taken out the Navy. We've taken out their Air Force, their missile defense, and their radars. So,
did you see, though? I can't think of the name. I think it's called Hascom or something, because Iran is still controlling this waterway that allows the oil tankers to come in there. They supposedly said only China can come through.
Right, because China is they get oil from Iran, right? So this cuts off another oil supply from China. And this shows you again Trump's forethought as to why he kept saying we need Greenland, because they knew they were going to do this mission, right? And they knew that one of the things that Iran was going to do was cut off that strait, that shipping lane. So we need, if we had Greenland sewed up, right? That's another shipping lane through there that they can't cut off. So, I mean,
yeah, I was telling somebody that today. I was like, y'all are so flat-minded. That's not the word I can think. Flat, simple-minded. That you're not realizing all the things you were complaining about, all the things you didn't understand. Why he got the Prince of Saudi in here? Why he talking to these people? Why? Like, if you think back, if you think about all the conversations, if you think about all the things that was done that you was complaining about, and now you see what happened, then they tried to bring up why would he just do that, and he didn't warn any Americans that's traveling. She was like, the State Department, you don't remember Marco Rubio said in January to not travel? Yeah, January to not travel to these particular states, and Iran was one of them, and some of the other ones in the middle. Y'all just is ignoring stuff. And us, y'all, them, us, we, all of us, because of course you're not thinking, but that was their way because they've been thinking about this. They've been knowing Iran was probably going to
They've
play
been
with them.
planning already.
Yeah, and because they knew they wasn't gonna come to the table and be honest and go ahead and do
Mhm.
what they were saying. So they started when they kept procrastinating. Donald Trump, like, okay, you know what? No, let's go on. But what I do not like, because I had to debate with this, or not debate, we was talking how Rubio, when he talked about it, he was saying like, oh, Israel had told us, gave us some intel, this is and that. So then we ended up doing, and then Trump, when he's talking about it, he like, because they was trying to make it seem like he was in their pocket, and he was like, "No, I'm."
Mhm.
He said, "I'm the one that got Israel to go ahead and move. I've
Mhm.
already been saying." And so they like, "Well, but Marco Rubio said that." I said that doesn't mean because Israel gave some additional intel does not mean that Trump wasn't already saying this is probably what we're gonna do. This was just okay. All right, well, y'all just gave us this. We was already here. Let's go ahead and do what we gonna do. I'm like, y'all,
Yeah,
everybody
but they
listens and they
also
think.
miss.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. They also missed the part where Marco Rubio said we were going to do this anyway without Israel. We were already going to attack Iran if they didn't come to the table and negotiate. And when they said they were there for negotiations, Trump said, or either Marco Rubio said, every time that they wanted them to do something, then they wanted to take away something that was like a no deal, right? So basically, they weren't negotiating in good faith,
Yeah,
right?
they weren't.
So Trump said that he felt like, and he got good instincts. I can give it to him. He felt like they were going to attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
And there
they
is
attacked
no
first. And Trump said that I felt like he was going to attack, so I got him first. That's it.
and the thing is and at some point, and I can promise you, he don't necessarily. I don't even think he felt like they was gonna attack in the next year or two. But what he do know is he don't know who we gonna get after this, and then it would be some more
Hmm.
decades and decades still with these people over our heads, fearful, kissing their butt, trying to figure out what they gonna do. He like, nah, my kids, my
Yeah.
grandkids, these American people voted for me. I'm finna take care of as much stuff that has been hanging over
Mm.
our heads right now while I'm in here. Period. You
Yep.
like it or you don't.
Yep. Like I say, if somebody is walking around every day talking about as soon as I see you, I'm blowing your head off. You may not even see me coming, but as soon as I see you, I'm doing this or that, right?
Right.
You can't be in peace like that. Even though y'all not in current conflict and you still able to go on and do what you do, you
Mm-hmm.
can't be in peace like that. But if somebody told you, that motherfucker died, I'm sorry, he died, you can be in peace. You're like, oh, okay, I ain't gotta worry about that now.
Yep, they gone. And then yeah, I ain't gonna talk about, but somebody came, they was on the live and came up and tried to say that Trump, he said that after doing this, they made this Iran may put the same people back in and then they may be back in the same boat. And so when he sounds like that, so you saying he said that, and I knew I had watched the whole press conference. So, I go
Hmm.
right to the point. I go get the video because he's steadily lying, trying to make other people like, so you see how you think the soldiers feel that he would say that he feel like it's a waste of time and the soldiers and he this and that. And so, girl, it was so funny because I went right to the point, played it, for the people this person was just sitting here lying about, and they was like, now why would you do that? Because Trump, the question was worst case scenario.
Hmm.
um what is your worst, what do you think the worst case scenario would be after this? So then he was like, well, I really, him first, he's like, I really don't think no worst, there's no worst case. It's gonna working out good, it's working out. He was like, but okay, I guess if you want me to say a worst case would be maybe 5 or 10 years they end up putting somebody else back in that was kind of like what they have and they right back in the same boat. He was like, but I
Hmm.
don't think that. I know, they're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this, and they're gonna be able to be a country, be happy, blah blah blah. This man is sat here and said a whole different story. I'm like, y'all's hate for that man is so you just hate to acknowledge that he smart and a boss. And the other man who was
Yep.
in at his age couldn't think past 5 minutes. So now you mad.
Hmm. And
But
that's
here we go.
because
I got
he's looking at the big picture and the future, which is kind of like how you have to be in business. If you're thinking about expanding a business or something, right, you got to be able to see the whole chessboard. If you're going to take over a company, or you know what I'm saying, you have to be
mm-hmm.
able to see ahead.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been doing. And they said, and we talked about that, about how he's looking at the future when he was talking about Greenland, and everybody was,
Mm-hmm.
that's a sovereign country and this and that. I said, he's looking for our national security for generations. He's making sure your grandchildren will be secure. Your my great grandchildren now will be secure. We won't have to worry about Iran in 5 years, 10 years, no matter who's sitting in the office. None of these other countries will be a problem.
Hey, Megan, you say, let's see.
And now you think about, hold on, now you think about the way that this went, right? If China and Russia were cozying up with Venezuela, coming over there, meeting with him, and all of this stuff, and if all of this had gone down and we had not taken out Maduro, who's to say that he wouldn't have been letting China and Russia up through through Venezuela, or launching
Mm-hmm.
planes from Venezuela?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. No, I
So
agree.
that's probably why they snatched them out of there as quick as they did too, because they knew they were about to do this. And before they did this, they cut off their oil supply, stop India from buying oil from Russia. So Russia
Mm-hmm.
is not doing well with that, because they over there trying to fight in Ukraine. So they can't
Mm-hmm.
afford to have all of these fights going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to point out to you people, look at the people that y'all kept capping for, what about our allies? What about our allies? They done turned their backs on
Who?
us. Canada is talking mess. The
Spain or
UK
something
is
like
talking mess. Spain is talking mess. And you know who out over there shooting air defense, doing ground defense for us?
who?
The Kurds in Iraq. The Kurds in Iraq, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE,
The
all of
people
them, all the
who
Middle Eastern countries is it over there. The people he was talking to, that y'all was complaining that he was talking to.
he went over there, he going and trying to get this and all and right. And they so
And you
stupid.
remember the equipment that we sold them planes, and they were coming here to train them?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because we was
Mm-hmm.
about to get busy. So we want to make sure his team is ready.
You so now you know our picture when you say team, I picture them with Trump at the front, like giving the pep talk. Um,
I'm just saying that
right,
now
our
I see
Muslims,
all of
right,
the
right,
things that he's
sacred. That
been
it's so funny because
doing,
from one standpoint they making
preparing
them seem
for
like you
this.
hate them, and then other standpoint, that's why I'm like, it just tells you that's why you have extremes of things, because them people straight up Muslims, they just ain't the fools like the was in Iran. But I wanted to,
Hmm.
I knew you were going, I just know you're going to enjoy this. So I just have to press play. I want you to get you, if you got you some snacks, we know you probably do. I want you to just get a gander of this uh, engagement dialogue, okay? All right, let's go, girl.
Concerns over your alleged relationships with Somali fraudsters who have since been charged and convicted of federal crimes. I'm sure you are aware that over 90% of the defendants charged in the Feeding Our Future fraud case are of Somali descent. In fact, you have personal knowledge of these people. There's a 54-minute audio tape of your meeting with these criminals in December of 2021. And during your meeting, they complained to you about increased scrutiny of their nonprofits, and you told them, quote, "Of course I'm here to help," end quote. It's on the internet. Anyone can listen to you say that. Since then, you claim you were not aware of their crimes in the $250 million Feeding Our Future scheme, the largest pandemic fraud case in the nation. But just weeks after your December 2021 meeting, the FBI executed search warrants that you never would have requested in the Feeding Our Future fraud investigation. Now let's fast forward to September of 2022, 10 months after you met with the Somali fraudsters. Your office issued a press release stating, quote, "Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and his office have been deeply involved for 2 years in holding Feeding Our Future accountable," end quote. So according to your office, sir, you have been deeply involved in the Feeding Our Future case since September of 2020. That actually sounds like you are saying that at the time of your infamous meeting with the Somali fraudsters, you were already aware of the allegations of fraud. When you had this meeting in December 2021, did you know, sir, about the long-running FBI investigation into Feeding Our Future? Yes or no? Mr. Chairman, Ms. Representative Emmer. Reclaiming my time. When did you personally become aware of the FBI investigation? That's all I'm asking. Representative Emmer, as you know, I have addressed this issue many times. All right. Reclaiming my time. In that same meeting with the fraudsters, Mr. Attorney General, you took aim at the Minnesota Department of Education. You stated that the Minnesota Department of Education had fought the nonprofit in very disgusting ways, in a very racist, xenophobic, and Islamophobic manner. You actually asked for the names of all these folks who are just hung up and offered to call the Minnesota Department of Education to, quote, demand some explanations. We now know that when you made these comments, the Biden DOJ was working with the Minnesota Department of Education and that their work exposed the massive fraud ring. Pretty bad look for you, sir. Either you were oblivious to what was going on under your nose, or worse, you were trying to obstruct the work of the Minnesota Department of Education. So I can see the time is getting short. Mr. Chairman, we are left with two questions. One, what did Governor Walz and Keith Ellison know about the fraud? And two, when did they actually know it? I would suggest that if they do not give direct and truthful answers to both these questions at this hearing, then they both need to be put under oath in a deposition. This is a serious thing, Mr. Attorney General. You are the only one who thinks protecting taxpayer dollars is political. Mr. Ellison, my concern is that you actively obstructed this investigation in exchange for campaign donations, a quid pro quo. If these concerns are proven to be true, you should be disbarred and you should go to jail. I yield back. Gentleman yields back.
Whew. What you think, Stag? You're on mute.
So this is another thing that I had reported on before all of this. I've reported on a Feeding Our Future scandal when they were first indicted, I want to say in 2024, I want to say. And it had come out that, because remember I kept saying that he got $10,000 for his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
There was a videotape because the guy who was being indicted was wearing a wire, and he was telling them that, they didn't have to worry about pretty much anything happening to them. It's going to make sure that, nobody investigated them or whatever. So it's a little late for that because the tape is out there. We heard it. We heard you, right? We heard you. And also, I think that they about to go to jail.
You got to go to jail. You got to go to jail.
Hey, what's that song? They taking you to jail. They taking you to prison where you be locked up.
Oh, Lord. He gonna be talking about, I'm locked up.
They won't let me out. So him, Walt, Ilha, all of them. And it's funny because I'm seeing whole state governments involved in some kind of a fraud and corruption and going. I'm talking about from the governor on down. And it's crazy. So speaking of that fraud, let me tell you the thing that I had that was a surprise for you.
What?
So Just the News was doing FOIA requests to get the communications of Fonnie Willis's office and the White House and the J6 committee. She fought the release. She refused to turn over those documents. And so they sued to get them, and they got them. Okay? Do you remember when she was in that hearing when she had on her little white fur and she was saying that she had to start charging for the FOIA request because people were abusing it? That's what it was, right? Okay, so what they found out was that in these communications, because these are emails, Nathan Wade, so Joe Biden has said, you remember when Joe Biden said we'll just have to demonstrate that we will not let Trump take power ever again? Remember that? Okay. After that, when Trump announced that he was going to run, the day after he announced that he was going to run, Nathan Wade was on the phone with the White House for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. I saw that
And
somewhere.
then, they found out because they also that lieutenant governor, he announced all of the things. He said that Fonnie Willis's office conspired with the White House, the DOJ, and the January 6th committee to bring lawfare against Donald Trump to keep him from being able to, run
Mm-hmm.
an effective campaign, basically. And also, in these communications, they found out. Remember the lady who testified when Fonnie Willis had on the pink dress, right? And that whole thing. The lady who had worked in the office who had said that they were abusing
Mm-hmm.
grants. Okay, in these communications, they found out that the White House told her to apply for a certain grant for $2 billion. And then when she applied for it, then they made it a no compete grant. So that's how they paid her to do this, through a grant. So we paid for her to
To
go
see
after Trump
to
with,
go
with
after
tax
President
dollars.
Trump.
And yep, and so that was why they didn't spend that money the way it was supposed to. That's why her and Nathan was able to keep on taking all them damn cruises. Because I was like, if they cruising around, when are they working on this case?
Yep.
Because they traveling.
That's how she was able to get her
So,
$1,100, $11,000 fan. Okay, so
hmm
I don't
and
know.
now
I,
I'm
go
and
ahead.
now I'm thinking that this is how they pay them to do a lot of stuff through grants. That's how they pay their people to go along with what they're doing, through grants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well,
go
I'm
ahead. I'm
sure
sorry.
you're gonna enjoy this because I know you didn't heard her voice, but she is one on one. This is the Janelle King, the Georgia State Election Board member, and what she got to say, finding and
Hmm
all them got some splaining to do. Hold on, here she goes.
Investigator is something separate.
Let's see, there we go.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we've heard.
Yeah, so we're keeping our subpoenas alive. Subpoenas are there to, like I said, we still want to have those documents. From my understanding, there's a possibility that there may be 50 boxes that were not handed over to the DOJ that may be out there. We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we've heard.
Yeah, so we're keeping our subpoenas alive in case we're able to go get those. But the private investigator is something separate. There were a couple of cases that have stood out to us that are a bit concerning. Not only that, but there are some cases that are still being held up by the Secretary of State's office. There's about a handful that we would like to put our own investigators on. And the reason why we are going to utilize an outside source is because the investigators that we hire, which we had to literally scratch and survive to get the funds to hire the 2 investigators that we have, but we certainly need more to cover the entire state. And the reason why we did that is because up until this point, all complaints were going through the Secretary of State's office. They were investigating them, and then they were giving them to us. And so at some point, I have to share how we were able to get some of these cases that are coming out. But until we get there, once having our own investigators means that complaints that can now come through the SEB, and then our investigators can investigate it, and then we'll hear the cases at the board. And it kind of cuts out the Secretary of State from being involved in it. And the reason why that's necessary is because we're hearing cases, and a lot of times in these cases, there are emails from the election directors to the Secretary of State's office informing them of these problems, and then they haven't done anything about it. So why are we now going to have them investigate themselves? So the private investigator is going to assist, because although we brought on our investigators, a lot of the tools that are needed to properly investigate are being held up by the Secretary of State's office as we speak. They're not giving them everything that they need to do their job. So if we were to contract outside help
Told you he was
assist
dirty.
them, they will have some of those resources that are necessary. And then they can kind of combine it with our investigators, and then we can get a real investigation done on a couple of these cases that are most concerned. We haven't mentioned what those cases are, and we're not going to right now because we want to make sure that we protect the investigator. We protect the details of it.
Yeah, and with that being said, I want to get into the Department of Justice here in a second. But specifically, I'm glad you brought this up with the Secretary of State. They've had their chance, right? They've had their opportunity to investigate this. We saw 2020, we had a recount, we had an audit, we had another recount. And what we've heard from the Secretary of State's office is, everything's fine, missing ballots, duplicate ballots, not a big deal. What, in your opinion, is the reason for it? Not only the pushback with you guys having these active subpoenas, but just with getting information in general from the Secretary of State's office?
Well,
hold on. So I gotta interrupt a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I play this for you because you know how you psychic and you was talking about stuff. So she about to say something that I know, if I'm not mistaken, because I try to listen ahead of time. If I'm not mistaken, that you gonna, I already seen you fall back in your chair once because you said so. So here go. Here go. I gotta, because YouTube will give us a strike if we play too much of his stuff. But go ahead.
Space where I do believe the opposition is correct is that it's very political. We have a Secretary of State who became Secretary of State with governor in mind. And as a result, having a terrible election, and particularly a presidential election where the Republican lost, is not a good look if you want to run for governor, which he's currently doing right now. So to be quite clear with you, I think that he stepped into this role. He talked this big game about being a leader and bringing his business acumen to it and all this other stuff, but he became hands off. He completely stepped out of it. He allowed people who have never run a business to run the Secretary of State's office, and the people who have never really been involved in elections to now run everything and be the leaders of everything, gave them these huge salaries, and then he just completely disappeared. I mean, I think he's been in the office 2 days since he's been elected. So it's just a complete disregard and a derelict of his duty. And so as a result, several issues occurred. When you don't have leadership, when you don't have proper training, when you're not adequately addressing issues and watching the administration process or the election process, then you're going to open yourself up to a lot of mistakes. And we have counties like Fulton County that has made a lot of mistakes in the past as well, even beyond 2020. Yeah. So that's a county that they should have been watching more so than anything else. But instead, they've kind of just stepped back. And so on one side, I just believe that he realized that they messed up. And instead of him taking ownership of it, doing the right thing, possibly doing a re-election to make sure that everything was clean and we clear up some of these absentee ballot problems and all this other stuff, instead they decided to take the cover-up route. We're going to just tell everybody everything's great, knowing it's not. We're going to cover up the fact that we have duplicate ballots and double counting and all kinds of craziness and illegals and just all kinds of stuff in the election. Yeah. And we're going to make it seem like everything was great so that I can then run for governor. I mean, the moment he could do it, he jumped into the governor's race. So that's the problem. We have someone who enjoys titles, someone who enjoys the rubber chicken dinners and all the VIP tables, but doesn't want to do the job. And we need someone who's ready to execute on day one and can do the job. And that's what I think voters that's what I know voters are deciding on right now. But that's, in my opinion, that's what it is. It's a bit of incompetence. I don't think he cared for President Trump. So there wasn't a desire to ensure that everything was run appropriately. Mm-hmm. And when you have a Secretary of State who's willing to record a sitting president and then drop a portion of it in order to try to validate himself, that's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that got out, not going back to the whole Biden, Fannie Willis situation, the fact that phone call is even out there is still amazing to me. Which, again, goes to another point with the pushback y'all have been receiving. I got to get the clerical error T-shirts out. So once we get the clip or not, they're completely ignoring the fact that you and the state board we're having issues, and we're in contact with the Department of Justice over the entire mishandling of this investigation by the Secretary of State's office, and just the lack of willing to work together by county officials. So with you working and contacting with
So I'm just gonna say, because you said all you was talking about she in another interview, she was talking about, well, another part of this interview, she was talking about with Kemp too, all of the stuff that you had said before. So now what's interesting, because of course you see who's interviewing her, you see who's getting this information out, is a small, not, and I mean Classy got some subscribers, but a small YouTuber. Why isn't mainstream media? Because they've been clear as day saying that, oh, that ain't no happen, that ain't doing that, they ain't nobody doing, and now it is constantly more and more things coming out, and we don't hear, but when we go searching on YouTube, go ahead, sister, go ahead.
I could tell you why the media is not covering it is because they were complicit. They helped push the lie that everything was fine, that everything, there was no fraud. Every time that they reported on anything, anybody they said, every time they said that somebody said anything about the election, they'd say, there was no widespread fraud in the 2020. There's no evidence of fraud. They would add that tagline on. So they were complicit in the steal. Okay. So they can't now show the truth because they lied to us for 4 years. Because that's like in that in the grand jury that was unsealed for Georgia for Trump's election interference case. It was also shown in there that they never did audits on those machines, and they never did ballot audits. They said they did, and they never did. They only did hand recounts, so they lied. So how can the media repeat that they did them if they didn't show them proof that they did it? Because they can't show you proof of something they didn't do.
And that's what she was actually acknowledging too. Like, it's just a lot of
So
things.
that is why you will not hear the media cover any of the election fraud. They won't cover any of the Russiagate stuff. They won't cover anything that they have been. They will. You are not going to get any news that is happening on the news at all. That's why it's important that we keep people informed on this stuff. I was just telling somebody yesterday who said to me, somebody I hadn't talked to in forever, but was saying it's the Republicans and they racist. I said, wait a minute, what are they doing this racist? Because they kind of in there out there, but are not informed. Okay, and so he said, well, they said something about January 6th, and so I said I started breaking down. This is what's come out since then that they had no clue of, right? And then I broke down all of this stuff that's been revealed in Fulton County. They had no clue this was all going on. This person lived in Michigan, and they also, I just saw a report. I got the thing, I think I posted it on my TikTok. They got illegals voting in their elections. And the only reason why they found these illegals in Fulton County was because they told them they were illegal and couldn't serve on the jury.
I have that video. It's her saying it. The lady Janelle, she tells all about that.
Right. So how many more are there out there then?
She said it's only
these only got caught because they got summoned for jury duty, and they told them that they couldn't serve because they weren't citizens. How many more?
But it was
Democrats told us they voted in our election, so
one of them that was proven that he actually sat on the jury, and he was illegal.
That too. And but Democrats been telling us that no illegals aren't voting, just like they told us that nobody who was illegal was getting government funds or federal funds. Let's say the federal funds. So they're being shown to be the liars that they are, and the media can't tell you the truth because they help push the lies.
That's why we got to get. I argue for an hour about this SAVE Act, and they I'm not we got to get, why would you think that somebody should be voting, determining your laws, your legislation, who becomes your president, and you don't know if they are a citizen and legally able to vote? I don't understand. So then they went through, well, but why we got to do why we gotta do the passport or the birth certificate? Some people gotta get this. Somebody said, well, you gotta have your original birth certificate. I said, no, you don't. You don't have to have your original birth certificate. You have a birth certificate. Well, why we just can't? Because when you get a real ID, well, they said when you get a real ID, you have to prove your citizenship. I said, okay, so if you got to prove it to get that, why do you have a problem with proving it to register to vote? They're saying, well, you should just have everybody, they should just have everybody get a real ID. And then when you check ID, you know that everybody got a real ID that they've been proving they citizens. I said, it's still a step. It's still something that you have to do, and it has been proven. There's only a few people who probably do. I don't care. It's just 5 people. I don't want 5 illegal people voting for anything
that's 5
that governs
American
me.
voices and votes that they suppressed. 5
Exactly.
people's vote didn't count. And
Yep.
y'all supposed to be the party of everybody vote counts. Okay?
Well, I can do my
So that's 5 American citizens whose vote didn't count.
Yep. I don't.
Was stolen.
Again, I think it's just literally the fact of wanting to debate, argue, fuss, complain, that people have lost their literal common sense. Because you can't tell me 5 years ago, we just say pre-Trump ever running for office, that all of these things that people are standing up here and defending, they were defending them back then. Like, no way you was defending boys being in girls' bathrooms. No way 12 years ago you'd have thought that was okay. Like, no way. Like, Trump coming in office has made them lose their mind. Their sense of right and wrong.
They were saying that these women were asked, who do they think respected women's rights more, Trump or the Iranian government? And because they hate Trump, they chose the Iranian government. They said that they care more about women's rights than Trump do. That's how insane these people are.
Yeah,
that's how insane they are.
They saying Trump was he a PDO. So there's no way. And he's a felon. And there's no way.
But that's crazy. So you said you got the video of her saying that about them illegals voting and
That's look, ironically, that's the one I got struck for. I got struck for when on TikTok. And then what's crazy, because I called myself showing it without showing the actual video. Like the actual video, and you already know what they did. They did the exact same
thing.
I
posted that. I think I clipped that from YouTube and I posted it and I got struck for that too. I think that's probably what got my page banned.
I said, and then I went all the way to the top, because I said, this ain't misinformation, because it's coming directly from a court hearing.
I don't want to focus on 2020.
Hold on, here we go though. Okay, girl, this when I say this right here. Hold on.
Oh wait, that is so important, and I hate to interrupt Ms. King.
Yeah, the seizure was going to happen or when it contacted by the Bureau. I had no idea the seizure was going to happen or when it was going to happen. But I hoped for it, because as you know, we also subpoenaed for those same documents.
Oh, wait, that is so important, and I hate to interrupt Ms. King, but this is so important. The board was asking for this information. She said she is thankful for the FBI raid. Guys, we've heard what the mainstream media and a lot of even what the local news stations are saying here, that, the board didn't really speak on the FBI raid. They didn't say anything about the Department of Justice. Well, you're hearing it right here from one of the board members. You're hearing that she said she was thankful that it happened because they've been trying to get answers for a very, very long time. This is amazing.
But let me tell you why. When I joined this board, Speaker John Burns gave me one requirement, and that was to do the right thing. That was my only mission. I knew that I had a lot to learn. I knew that there were opposing perspectives and a deep-seated mistrust in our system. But what I did not expect was the number of people who would insist that the election was perfect and one of the best in the country, yet cannot explain how the process actually works once the ballot leaves the voter's hand. That's where I felt like I could assist the most. I'm here to shine the light on issues that have stayed in the dark, that have kept people in the dark. Who you vote for is the only secret part of the election. Every other step must be transparent and it must be easy to understand. So you can't do your duty as a citizen if you don't have that understanding. So to be clear, we're not here because of conspiracy theories. We're not here because of sore loser activists. We're not here because a little bit of fraud that wasn't enough to change the outcome. And we're certainly not here because of some power trip to target Fulton County. We're here because our election has been in question for a long time, well before 2020.
Yes.
In 2018, Stacey Abrams distrusts the process, claiming of vote flipping, hacking vulnerabilities, and machine crashes. Many of the same people who are upset with her questioning today, many of the same people who were upset with us questioning the elections today supported her back then. We fast forward to 2020, and we all went to sleep with Trump in the lead. Our Secretary of State even confirmed in an interview on election night that Trump's lead was significant. We woke up and the lead was gone. That raised questions.
Yes, it did.
And it should be rightful questions. It's okay to question. After the first hand count, it was discovered that 4 counties forgot to upload 6,000 ballots, 1,300 of which were from Trump. Over the course of 3 audits, we got 3 different outcomes. Unfortunately, the machine audit said Biden won by 12,670 votes. The hand count showed a lead by 12,284 votes.
Number 2.
The certified vote landed at 11,779 votes.
3 times.
Our job is to make sure your vote is not only cast without barriers, but that it counts. Your vote is disqualified if it isn't cast, but it's also disqualified when it's cast and isn't counted properly. It's disqualified when a coding error causes you to vote for the wrong candidate. It's disqualified when someone who isn't legal votes 23 times in our elections and votes on how your taxes are to be spent. It's disqualified when 300 people vote in your city race without you knowing, giving you a council member you did not elect. It's disqualified when a neighboring voter decides who your mayor will be, effectively canceling your voice.
See, and this is the thing that's being missed. We all want to focus on the 2020 election, and this is so much more.
Those are inflated statewide. And they were inflated when nearly 7 million ballot applications were sent to every registered voter, meaning a house where one person lives could have received multiple applications. This opens us up to ballot harvesting like never before. But this isn't a problem that is new. I've worked in Georgia politics for over a decade. I remember door knocking years ago and noticing that some addresses on my app had upwards to 13 names associated with them. And when I knocked on the door and spoke to the resident, I was told that only 2 people lived there and that the rest of the people on the list were previous tenants. That was over a decade ago. Yet there's still a consensus from some that we are not to question our elections or our elected officials, which could not be further from the truth. Protecting this republic isn't just the job of a politician. It requires personal responsibility from every one of us. There is a universal rule in politics that when the people drop the ball on our duty, the government will always be there to pick it up. And we're not going to like how the government carries it. Voting isn't just a choice, it's a duty. It is the price of admission for a free society. And right now, we are being forced to play the role of the adult in the room. And let's be honest, being the adult is difficult. It means making the tough calls.
Okay. So she called
Didn't
it
I
on
just say that? How that cancels out your vote, all of this stuff. So, yeah, I like her.
I knew you was going to say that. I was going to say,
I
and
like
then
her.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, she voted for Donald Trump because the fact that she be saying, she said President Trump. You know, people who ain't vote for him don't call him president. And not that she's doing this because for him, but you know, generally we just think we are generally honest and we just think like normal people and you just want things to be right. If you lose, you lose, but you want to lose fair and square. You don't want to lose because people forced you to lose or messing with stuff so much, and then I don't. We shouldn't be voting and not knowing that everybody who's voting is supposed to be legally able to vote. And anybody who would fight for you to not have to prove that you are legally able to vote in this country, that means that they doing something dirty, because that makes no sense. There will be no reason why you will want that outside of you're the one trying to beat the system.
Yeah. And the one thing that she has said in the other interview is if everything, and we've been saying this forever, if everything was good, perfect, the elections were great, why can't you open the books, especially since people have so many questions about it? If people were questioning my job, I would have no problem saying, well, here are the books. Let's look through them. Let's go, it seems like I'm being shady. It's like, why do you want to look? You don't trust me? Everything is fine. And you find out I done shredded some stuff and burned some things. And I mean, it's just crazy. And it's weird to me that people don't think that that they think that it's acceptable that they would say, no, we're not giving it to you. You can't look. Like, anybody who thinks that that's acceptable is crazy. And again, I'll ask, why do we retain those ballots and all of the election information if nobody can look at it again?
And then these people think or act like, oh, y'all, so you think that was gonna make y'all win. I'm like, we're like, no, nobody is saying you think it's gonna make you win. What we're saying is it's not right. And y'all beat this man up for 4 years now about him saying that they were cheating or that people cheated. And then now it's coming out that cheating was happening. And instead of you acknowledging and saying, okay, I was wrong because I shouldn't have been saying that because I guess he was right, you want to say, well, I mean, it wasn't like he act like he was going. It doesn't matter. You beat that man up. You act like, and they even did, like I said, the Secretary of State.
The bigger thing in that is not them saying that they were wrong, but saying that they lied to me for 4 years. They've been lying to me. The Democrats lied to you. The media lied to you. Everybody, them talk show hosts, them late night hosts, SNL and they skits, everybody lied to you.
Yep, everybody. Well, we got the gift that keeps on giving. And before we get into Stag's I Just Can't moment, I am Stag going to, let's see what we're going to go to some trending. Of course, this is still in the lane of politics, but this has been the topic because we've been waiting for this. So we're going to get some trending topics. We've been waiting for this for 3 or 4 months now. So we're going to go into our trending topics. And the first guest of the day is Hillary and her deposition. And I don't know if you all seen old Hillary Hill. But you could tell who the brains of the operation when it comes to them two, because she was not playing. She was giving them the business. I don't know what area I'm in. It was all crazy. So I'm just going to give a little snippet and let you see. Tell me what you think. I don't know if you saw with her attitude when she threatened to go and all this stuff, but let's see what we at on old Hillary.
To the specific information that could be gotten and the accountability that could be achieved. Well, I will confess that I had some concerns about whether the majority on the committee would treat me fairly and would, fairly convey what I say and what I did and how I looked and how I responded. So yes, I did have a concern. And when we learned about the photos being taken not by a staff member, but by a member, it was shocking and very disappointing. So if it were in public, we wouldn't have that debate. Everybody could see the same thing that the congresswoman saw. I'm sitting here. Sometimes I'm smiling. Sometimes I'm frowning. Sometimes I look good. Sometimes I don't. That's all in public. Everybody can have the same view rather than, an angled photo and all the rest of it. So it was disappointing, and I regret that it happened and it violated your rules, but that's not the real concern I have. The real concern is get busy. Focus on the people that have something to tell you, that can tell you about intelligence, money, and crimes. and get them before you, and whenever possible, do it in public.
And finally, do you think that Donald Trump should be deposed by this committee?
Absolutely. You know, I was a lawyer, and as a lawyer, you would look for pattern and practice. If you were deposing a witness in a case that you were trying, if you were in court, what did you know about this person? What you knew could influence how you questioned that person, how you tried the case. Donald Trump has been held civilly liable for sexual assault by a jury of his peers. 9
What do you got to
members
do with
of the
this?
jury found him liable in the sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. That is behavior. That fits a pattern if one were looking for a pattern. He has also been convicted on 34 felony counts for attempting to hide his relationship with an escort and then to commit business fraud to prevent it from becoming public in the 2016 campaign, which
Why aren't they
was
stopping her?
ultimately election interference. So if I were running the committee or I were involved in this investigation, I would be looking for people who maybe had some prior conduct that might be relevant to either money or crimes. And yes,
That's why you're there.
I think that it would be in keeping with the scope of the investigation of this committee to set up a deposition with President Trump. I know he's been deposed many, many, many times. He's taken the Fifth Amendment many, many hundreds of times. So I'm not saying you're going to get a lot of information. But given what's in the files and given past and prior conduct, he would be on my witness list.
Thank you.
We can go off.
Well, good thing she's not in charge of the committee. All of those people that she said that's why she's there, you know, crimes and all of that. And,
Right.
and your husband. You're talking about a pattern of abuse. Come on.
Let me see. This look like this might be.
You're talking
something.
about one woman, her husband has been accused by many women of sexual assault.
Look, I think. Hold on. This might be something good. Hold on. Let me see something.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, we want. There's two, are there two separate? Yes. Thank you. And I'm going to pass them down because I have more from my colleague. And one more. Thank you so much.
Let me see her face.
They're the same. There's two different documents.
There's two, yeah, they're two emails, both different EFTAs. Secretary Clinton, would you please read EFTA 007058660? Just, you don't have to read from, it's to Jeffrey Epstein, but can you read the context of the email?
Sorry, could you state the number again? Is the number at the bottom?
Yes, it's at the bottom. It's EFTA 007058660.
This is majority 14.
14, yes, sir.
Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty.
How does that make you feel?
Makes me sick.
If you can also read the EFTA 0087841. This is also another email. Can you just please provide the context? It's an email to Jeffrey Epstein. If you could just read the context of what it is.
Of course, the Ohio Jesus, I'm coming trick.
And just the main body of the context of the email.
Said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped save her life. Whoops.
How does that make you feel?
It's bizarre. I don't know what it means.
The reason I asked you to read both of these is because these emails were both sent by co-conspirators that were then given the plea deals and now have been given victim status. Both of these women were also named in an FBI document, and they're on a number of other emails Do you believe that the Department of Justice should reevaluate the plea deals for some of these women, given that, as you can see, they have clearly done some things probably that they shouldn't have?
I don't know the status of whether that would be legally possible, so I have no opinion.
I think outside of the statute of limitations, they might be able to reinvestigate under the civil rights violations. Would you be in favor of that, or looking into any of the co-conspirators that were given plea deals down to victim status if there's credible evidence that they were trafficking young girls?
I think it should be pursued.
Hold on.
Why are you asking
I'll
her?
show you another EFTA. If the staff can also pass this to the secretary. It's EFTA 01656217.
Should be Exhibit 16 for the majority.
And I'd also like to reflect on those previous EFTAs. The EFTA 0070560, that was actually sent by a woman by the name of Susan Hamlin. And then the other EFTA 0087841 was sent by a woman named Nadia, who's also listed in other files as well. Victims have stated to this committee, both Democrats and Republicans, that during Epstein's time, during his day camp jail is what I'll call it, that he was also in active communication with Bush's CIA director. They also had stated that he had active ties to Russia, Israel, and Iran. Given your status, not just as the First Lady, but also in your secretary position, have you ever been targeted by any of these countries as a means of a foreign intelligence gathering operation? Are you aware of potential vulnerabilities?
Yeah, I was targeted by Russia in the 2016 campaign. I mean, I think that's pretty well known.
Okay, I just want to stop on that. So her body.
I think that she.
Go ahead. No, you tell me what you think.
I wanted to hear her lie about that she even would bring it up and lie about 2016. Because all the truth is out there. Tulsi Gabbard had already leaked everything all out. And man.
Let's see what she's going to say.
What about Israel or Iran?
I don't know about either Israel or Iran.
Okay, do you believe that Epstein was running potentially a honeypot operation with intelligence gathering operations to collect information on high-profile individuals, both Democrat and Republican, the United States, in an effort to sway our foreign policies? Is it possible?
I have no direct knowledge, but I think it's one of the areas your committee should investigate.
Do you think it's possible?
Well, it's certainly possible. It's a tried and true technique of certain intelligence agencies.
Do you believe that he was using honeypots in an effort to...
I can't speculate. I don't know.
Okay, so what's...
Okay, look, wait.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say about them ones they said that they gave victim status to. Do you remember when they first came out and I told you, I said, I don't think that those are victims. That's who those ladies are that they keep parading around.
And their deal is they're gonna drag with the Democrats in order for them to
and they won't prosecute them. Yep. They won't say that they're not victims, and they won't prosecute them.
But what's crazy is because I would love. I'm gonna let you see this, but it's interesting because hold on.
Also agree that President Trump should answer questions of this committee.
That's for you to decide, but he did know him well, and I once had a brief discussion with him about it.
Thank you. Thanks for the answer. With that, I'm going to go to Mr. Walkinshaw, and we'll go down a series of questions.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. He just said we were friends, and then we had a falling out over a land deal, property deal. That's all.
Okay, so is it? isn't it interesting? Now, how he in the pictures, he in the stuff more, he's all that. He chilling and kind of just telling, and then she mad and angry and trying to seem like she trying to get, she don't know nothing. Like she couldn't get him nothing to say when in that situation, but she could give all these 3 cases with Trump and this stuff with Trump, and you gave full detail. But when they ask you about somebody with a CIA, or if you think that this could be somebody, they could be using him to get stuff on people, I don't know. But she took a whole 2 minutes to go through all Trump's things. So again, to me, it's still proof she mad she lost to him, and then she mad he president again. But then your husband, who's shown with getting massages in the waiting area, he say, I mean, that's up to y'all. He don't say most definitely, but then he say, I mean, I guess, but then come right and make sure he say, look, but I'm just being honest. He ain't never been nothing that he said other than, everybody knows that they fell out about the real estate deal. We all know that. Everybody's been saying that, but it's just interesting to me why she's so mad. She probably went home because you could tell she be whooping on him or something. She probably went home and hit him upside the head. Hit him upside the head with her shoe when she seen that.
She probably yell and cuss all the time at him. He just be sitting there.
Because you could tell, that's why everybody liked him, because he was just always chill. He was a cool guy. And she wasn't going to win. She wasn't going to win because nobody never liked her. She's never been likable. Only reason she got a secretary.
Could you imagine her with that attitude as president?
Girl, I say you ain't see nothing. When she got on there talking about some, she about to do it fat one more time. I'm gonna leave, and you're gonna have to do something. Then my thing is too, she kept trying to act like she wanted that to be not private and not aired later. What was the difference in that? Why do you think she was trying to say that?
She said that she didn't know that it was going to be aired later.
She kept saying she didn't understand why it had to be in deposition format where they were talking and stuff was off record and we couldn't see until they aired it. She wanted it to be like when we watching the stuff today with Christy Norm where we watching it live. That's what she that's why she said why
that's another
go ahead.
That's another deception to me, because the thing about the picture being taken of her, that was performative then, because if you know that they're going to release this to the public, then it's kind of like you being live. So we are going to be able to see you, right? So why are you so upset that your picture's being taken? We all know you there. Maybe it was proof to us that you actually showed up. Like, I don't understand the big deal. It was just so performative. It just, she wanted some reason to leave. So that's what I think. She wanted a reason to leave.
And
did you see the clip that they showed of Bill Clinton reminiscing over them photos? Laughing to himself? Giggling?
No.
The lady his lawyer sitting next to him had took the pictures and stuff from him. He took them back from her and was just looking at him and laughing to himself. Yeah, reminiscing.
Well, we know
good times, Bill. Good times.
Right. He know he ain't getting nothing from Hillary. Okay, let me see. I might have. Hold on. Let me see. This might be it. Give me a second. What I asked Reed.
Harvard Club. That was a fundraiser, I believe, for Congresswoman Lowy that I attended to support her. Is my recollection.
Okay, and this is an email. This is an invitation to the fundraiser where you were there.
Do you have any idea if the Epstein referred to is the Jeffrey Epstein? There's a lot of people named Epstein in this area.
This is in the DOJ files.
I have no knowledge of it.
It says Mr. and Mrs. Epstein.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of this.
Okay, so it could be a different Jeffrey Epstein.
I have. You're showing me an email from someone who I don't recall knowing about a fundraiser that wasn't for me but was for Congresswoman Lowy. I have no information. Okay. I went to the fundraiser to support my friend Nia Lowy.
All right.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
There are
another.
photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how
I'm done with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was.
It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah, well,
I would like to take a break at this moment.
yeah,
I'd like to have
I'm done for now.
Go off the record. Go off the record.
Oh, Hill was mad, huh?
She would have been. I bet she was terrible to work for. I'm sure. I'm
I'm
sure that the people who work for her and her staff and stuff got cussed out, yelled at, screamed at, probably shit thrown at them and everything. She is nasty
nasty. I mean,
for no reason.
she was pleasant. She tried to be pleasant when it was the Democrats' side to ask her. And because, they weren't asking her really too many questions about her or whatever they were asking. They were trying to make her, like look like, just show, basically give what they wanted her to think, what they wanted her to say. So it was interesting. Like I said, I just wanted to share because, of course, that happened as well. We was talking about it. Says Stag, somebody got a comment for you. Let's see. That is says Stag, I got a book about her in the Audible account. Oh, that's MAGA said.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord,
Okay.
it's gonna be
I
interesting.
got one too, but I don't think that she wrote it. I got I got the one. Remember I told y'all I can't remember the name of it. Unlikable or something. I don't know.
Is that the name?
Yeah, we
of it?
should go through it to see if it's some behind the scenes stuff or the way she was yelling at people. Got she pointing her finger at people and stuff. Oh, she must have been a nightmare to work with. Could you imagine being a staff member of hers? Woo.
Mm-mm. Well, we are winding down and we are at what was time for one of our favorites. It has become the fan favorite. And I don't know if they just like my sister going off on people or if they like the information that she give it or if it's a good mixture of both. But it would not be an episode of the Proud Mary podcast if we were not here to hit you with a Stags I just can't moment. I never know what it is, y'all, so I don't want y'all to think I
Hey,
do.
wait. I don't know now. I need you to tell me something. What was
What?
that comment that you said to somebody left on that thing? Because I really be winging this, y'all. I don't be
Oh,
prepared.
they
What?
me too. They left the comment saying we stupid and basically people they were talking about the Save Act and ain't nobody voting illegally and we dumb and you do have to have all of this stuff. You got to have your birth certificate. It's hard for people to get their birth certificate and people don't have a
Okay.
passport. The same dumb stuff they be saying. All right,
Okay.
I'm
That's it.
all right, so y'all,
Uh,
let's see what she coming up with. Y'all know this song, she wings it like I do. So come on, let's go. Sags, I just can't moment.
So I just can't with y'all in this SAVE Act and letting the Democrats convince you that it is hard for you to get a birth certificate when anything that you want to do that requires you to prove your identity, you go get those things in order to do that. If you get into government housing, you have to provide a birth certificate, a social security card, an ID. I don't know what else. If you go and get your driver's license now, since you need to have a real ID, you need a birth certificate. Um, and shit, I don't know what else. But because I don't remember what I had to bring. But if you don't have it, you can go online, order one, and get it. You don't got to go nowhere. You don't got to look for anything else to have it. You don't have to prove nothing. You go in and fill out your name, your mama name, your daddy name, and you pay your money, and they will mail it to you. The fact that you all help, because this is the way that I see it now, you help Democrats cheat. You help them to lie to the American people in order to gain more power. You know that what they're saying is not true. You know that it is not a feasible thing to say that the majority of people, or that it's an inconvenience for you to have to prove your citizenship in order to vote. The election is not until November. If you are not registered to vote and you are looking to register to vote, you need to start sending away for your birth certificate and getting your documents together now. Otherwise, you don't want to vote. That's what it is. It's ridiculous that y'all will repeat these talking points to say that. I mean, even people in rural areas, and they say that. How do you think they get anything else? Because they live out in far places. How do you think that people drink, smoke cigarettes, go to movies that's outside of their age limit or whatever? And what else do you do? Travel. Nobody does any of these things, right? Like, y'all need to stop it. Stop it. We need to secure our elections, and we wouldn't even be going through this. Again, every issue that we have, it's Democrats. Every time that the Republicans put forth something to fix something, the Democrats vote, you jump on the bandwagon and say how they're trying to suppress people. No, we wouldn't have to go through this. You wouldn't have to prove that you're a citizen if Democrats didn't decide to give out driver's license to illegals. You didn't say anything about that. You didn't say, well, that might be a bad idea, because then how are we going to know who are American citizens and who are here illegally? So now say thank you, Democrats, right? Because now you got to prove that you're an American citizen now, when all you used to have to do was check a box. That's it.
All right, all right, all right. Well, y'all, again, give it up for another famous Stags moment. Well, Stag, I always look forward to this part of the day. I look forward to hearing you, like everybody else. They love, hear you pop off. And when you popping off and giving information at the same time, it just makes that's kind of, sometimes people just like a little tough love kind of thing. And that's what you be doing. And I love it. And that is why we have the Stags I Just Can't moment. I'm gonna hope and pray that they go ahead and get this signed. I know everybody's, well, you would think they preoccupied, but they doing all these hearings and all this stuff while all this other stuff is going on. But I guess we are doing like Americans are supposed to do, trusting our military, trusting our president, trusting our Secretary of State, and we are letting them do what they do, and we over here doing what we do. And just making things, because it is interesting that everybody's like, oh, we have war, but then things are still moving and going along. They're talking about now that we can potentially, what did they say, like the oil and something else is gonna go up, gas gonna go up, and all this stuff. We'll
I
see.
expect that.
Mary,
And remember when Biden and them said that Americans didn't mind the higher cost of things, because they put this said this is Putin's war, right? Because we wanted to know, Ukraine does not serve our interests. That's British interests. That's the UK's interests. That's the EU's interests. That's not American interests. And apparently they've just shown you that our interests are not their interests.
Yep.
So their interests should not be our interests. They bet Trump is better than me, because the moment they told us that we couldn't use their airstrip and they couldn't provide us support in protecting what we felt like was our interests and global interests, after all we do for them, I cut them off of me. There would be no more NATO.
They've been trying.
There would be no more NATO.
So who was been I know the people from Germany that was in there talking to him yesterday, they was like they all for it, they believe in it, it makes sense. Of course, we know, like we say, like all these people we got the biggest, baddest military, so it's only so much.
Canada, right to our north, Canada is talking shit. That prime minister coming out talking shit.
What did he say?
Basically that this is illegal, and he wants basically them to stop, and that they are not going to get involved in something that's not in their interest. Okay, I cut Canada off too. I would go. You know what? I wouldn't cut them off. I go ahead and make them the 51st state. That's what I do. I cut off trade with them. I would cut off trade with them. I would starve them out and make him apologize. I sure would. I
See,
sure
that's,
would.
I promise you, I'm working behind the scenes to get us somehow to get in either. I didn't even went to look to be the get invited to one of the next things that Trump do. Because you just get on the list. You know, I've been working because Donald Trump, he need to meet both of us. But he definitely need to meet you, so everybody say, because ain't nobody saying you, because you
To
the only
what
one,
me?
you love him. I mean, you know, I'm being facetious what they be saying, but he definitely need to meet the person who will cut anybody up. I think you about close to Caroline Levitt. Caroline might lose
I
her
sure would.
job if he
Let me
meets
tell
that.
you. Let me tell you and our listeners out there the reason why I don't talk bad about this administration. Number one, because I voted for him. I voted for him because I trusted his decision making, and I know that he has the best interest of Americans at heart. So I trust those decisions. Secondly, he get enough heat from everybody else about what he doing. I'm not about to add on to that. Thirdly, if you Republicans want to win these midterms and win in 2028, I don't think it's the best thing to be harping on what he's doing, especially when you know that this is the better alternative than the country that the Democrats want for us.
Hmm.
So you people sitting on the fence, listening to you, listening to the media, listening to Democrats, and if Republicans they hear are also saying are on the side with Democrats on his policies and what he's doing, where do you think those independents go and vote? Or go to look to as to who they think is making the better decisions, right? And he's making decisions for the long term safety and security of the globe. He is working on world peace. And again, sometimes in order to get peace, you have to go to war for it. Every time your peace, in order to get your peace, it's not easy. Sometimes you have to fight for your peace. And that's what he's doing. So y'all
I
have
get
to,
it.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. He's doing a great job as
Yeah,
president. He's doing better than any president. Even any mistakes he make, he's still better than any president in my lifetime.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we only a few years apart. Um I'm not gonna lie. Not when since I've been paying attention, which I would be honest and say maybe since Clinton. No, because I like Jimmy Carter. Don't ask me why, but I always have liked him. I think I was just young and I don't know.
Yeah, I was
But
about to say you ain't even old enough to be knowing what was going on with Jimmy Carter.
yeah, I just liked him. I don't know. He looked happy and nice. I just remember that. I always just liked him. Um, but since I could remember, I would say, yeah, he is the best. I did used to like Clinton. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Reagan. I remember him, but I don't. But he's the. I would say. I think I didn't feel like Clinton was weak either. Maybe it's just me, but I don't remember feeling like he was weak. Um, I feel like
Clinton was charming.
huh?
Clinton was charming.
Is that what it? But I don't feel like I felt like people was pushing him around though either. Like I feel like that with Obama.
Because
I'm
it was
not gonna
because
lie.
they
I
knew they had to
feel.
deal with Hillary.
Hmm?
You think that those in Congress didn't know that Hillary was really running things?
Oh no, we
That's
know
who they
they
had
knew.
to deal with. That's why they didn't do it with him because they had to deal with her.
Look,
You
Yucky said I'm
know what just
insane for
happened?
liking Carter. Oh God. But yeah, so I will be honest. If I would say like what I know is presidential, um,
Hmm.
I even feel like for a portion of his first administration, as much as I knew how bossy he was and how strong he was, I was a little disappointed that he trusted them people, that they weren't
Hmm.
gonna, that they were on his team to mean him some good. And I hated he trusted the length of time that he did. I know him well enough to know that he was going to end up sinning. That's why I was like, yeah, y'all see Trump. I was telling you, see, he ain't got this person around him. He ain't got this because he ain't done, but he did. I get it. He came in, you thinking this is your team, and did not
Hmm.
know that they really was. I felt like they was really there to sabotage.
But I'm gonna
Sabotage.
tell you this too is what we get now is what we would have got had he won in 2020. He's not running for reelection again. So now he's unleashed, and he gonna get a whole lot more unleashed the closer it
Mm-hmm.
gets to him being out of here. He's not running for another term, and he's making sure that this country is gonna be set up before he leave long term. That
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna
think,
have to
and I
go through hell and high water to change what he did once it's done.
yep. And I think that it is a perfect timing for it. He didn't need to win because, like, just say we got the Olympics, we got the World Cup, we have these changes that he's making. All of it is going to kind of roll into. There is no way that by the end of this, people are going to want anything other than who he stamps to come after him. And I think,
Hmm.
even though people got their TDS and they got what they have, it's just gonna be them choosing to be miserable. I feel like by like the time all of this stuff is coming along and we just gonna be good. Of course nothing is always perfect, but I feel like this is gonna be the most comfortable that we will feel as a country, and it's happy. And I know, no, I feel like the true all of the stuff, we're gonna be them work through all the muddle and all the things by
Hmm.
2027, you know,
Yep.
because we got things to do. By the time it's time to vote, though, for the midterms, it's going to be so much stuff that is in order that all of those people who even felt like, oh, I don't know, this and that, they gonna see the differences in the things and see how their president was standing up, how y'all thought we couldn't ever do nothing with Iran. We could, we had to keep on kissing their butts and this and that. You're gonna see how that turns out. And y'all gonna be like, oh shoot, wait a minute, maybe he is the best leader to have. So I truly believe that.
Hmm.
But so we
Well,
are
there
all
I saw a poll. Hold on, I saw
go
a
ahead, I got you.
poll that said that 77% of people are in support of him attacking Iran.
Yeah.
77%. So it ain't nothing to
Somebody
think
tried
about
to
that.
pull
This
up
is
to
again just the left just trying to muddy the waters and make it seem like it's
well,
not
somebody
popular and
tried to
people are upset about it.
argue with
Hmm.
me and say that when they polled Republicans said that they are against regime change war, right? And the majority of
Hmm.
Republicans are against that. Now, I was talking about show me a policy when Republicans didn't listen to what the constituents say, because I had never seen I hadn't heard of any bill or anything where kind of how like the Democrats are still going against what their constituents say about the Save Act. And so they brought
Hmm.
this up, and I said, well, first of all, that's just somebody asking people questions. That's not a policy. Third, did you
Hmm.
see that's regime change war? Did you see when people were asked how they feel? Do they think we were right when it came to Iran? The majority of the people said yes. So regime change war, we're not technically in war, but what was
Hmm.
going on with Iran
This is an
and
operation.
why we're doing this with Iran, the majority of the people understand. And I even think the people who are yelling the loudest and saying we shouldn't have did it really understand. They really probably hope that we now don't have to be worried, because we all kind of always walked around worrying about, we know, oh Lord, you got this country, these people hate you. You don't know they didn't let these people on the border, this and that. You don't know where they're gonna pop out.
And worrying about when they do get the capability to be able to launch
Mm-hmm.
something at us, right? That's not peace. That's not peaceful. That's
Yep.
not peaceful for anybody on the globe because they terrorists spread out all over. They ain't just with the United States. All over the globe, they inflict terrorism, and it's not peaceful to have to worry about what are they going to do next. Who's next? Is it a
Yep.
bomb going to fly out of the sky? Is some terrorist going to go blow up something or do a mass shooting or something? That's not peace.
They want us to be scared. They want us to,
Hmm.
remember, when we were talking about trade, oh, we ain't gonna be able to have China. China, we ain't gonna have the China. I'm just like, I ain't never seen people live in a country and be so scared of other people. That is the craziest, weirdest, dumbest thing in the world to me.
Hey, I heard this guy earlier on. You go look at the Black Conservative Perspective. The
Mm-hmm.
video he did, the very first video is one of him showing Trump in the '80s saying these same things about Iran. Then he said we should have took care of them when we had the chance. Then, right? this guy said Trump is the King Von of politics of presidents. He said he just catching bodies everywhere. He said that man came on TV that night and he said something, and the next day they had to report, well, he's out of here.
Yeah, that's so crazy because he do it. He be like, yeah, they're gone. We obliterated them. He just be like,
well, Pete Hegseth had posted on X. He said we're about to annihilate Iran's navy, and we did. So they got a plan. They said they about to ramp up. They said we ahead of schedule, so they're gonna have this wrapped up soon.
They probably, I heard, well, I was listening to today, they said it in a week. But, we'll see, because of course you never know. We got to watch around here. Like we said, we were going to talk about for a second is like these sleepers. We Biden and let all these people in here. And, we don't know who is who, like we know what happened in Austin, that fool, down there. And obviously, of course, I don't even necessarily know if they're all like even in tune or tied in with it, but because it's what they believe, is because it's they're in with this. People will do just like him and just go and say, forget it. I'm just whatever havoc I can cause, I'm gonna cause it because I don't like this happening and I'm in support of this country. But then you dumb because you're gonna be dead. But I guess if you want to be dead, I mean, I guess if it's worth,
they think they're gonna get them virgins. Mm-hmm.
They gon' yeah, that's dumb. Cause I be like, when y'all read that, y'all stupid. Don't say nowhere for you to go kill people. How you believe in God and then think he told you to go kill? He know how to kill everybody if he want to do that, dummies. Y'all dumb. Don't forget there should be. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead. Y'all know before we end, we always, I have to give my part, which is my
your money minute.
What is it? Mo's money
minute.
Yes. So today, guys, I wanted to do something that was going to kind of just be a little sharp, like Proud Mary. You got to give it to you. Can be nice when you can, but rough when you must. A lot of people's financial issues and financial problems start with them. It's because you are in your own way. You choosing to stay in your own way. And unfortunately, if we don't get some tough love, information, the things that we need to know how to apply, we will stay in that space. So the truth is, y'all know I always say this, we can't fix what we won't face. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that will help you get out of your own way when it comes to budgeting, saving, and increasing your income. So tip 1, face the numbers. You cannot manage money you refuse to look at. So you have to sit down and review your bills, review your spending habits, review your bank statements. You can't guess, and there is no avoiding it, right? Once you see where your money is actually going, you can start making real decisions about where it should go, because sometimes it's going places it don't need to be going, all right? I always say this too, pay yourself first. Saving cannot be what's left over at the end of the month. It needs to be a priority in your budget. So in your budget, you need to set up a percentage in which you're going to save. You need to set that up to have it automatically. You know how like Uncle Sam get his part automatically? Set you up to be just like Uncle Sam and give it to yourself automatically. That consistency will build discipline, and that discipline will definitely build wealth. The 3rd tip is increase your earning power. Sometimes budgeting alone, we just gonna be honest, won't fix everything. It won't fix the problems. If the math ain't mathing, it just ain't gonna happen, right? So you're gonna probably need to pursue a higher paying job, or negotiate your salary, or develop a new skill. And sometimes you may just have to go and either take on a craft or passion that you have, or find a second job. You don't want to stay stuck in a financial situation that no longer serves you for the future. Remember that financial freedom starts with financial honesty. So as again, y'all know I love, my name is Mo, and this has been Mo's Money Minute, because small money moves today will create big wealth for tomorrow. Thank y'all. Get it off of there. Oops, look at us. I done got both of them. All right. So thank you. I hope you guys learned something. I always say jot it down, save it. I try to reshare. You got Stags, I Just Can't moments. You got Mo's Money Minute. Y'all then got all the news that you could use, the news you didn't know about or think about, and definitely our take on all of the current things going on in politics and law and in the culture of what is here known as the United States of America and abroad. So, Stag, do you have any last parting words? Anything that you can say you want to share with the people before we leave? Yes.
Are we doing a after show tonight or no?
Yeah, I'm game for it.
Okay.
If it's gonna be, I think we did your birth, so it would be my turn. So I would be, thank you, Shahid. 15 minutes. We can be on. Oh shoot.
Okay.
Wait.
Thank y'all for rocking out with us. All of y'all great people down there.
Yes,
we
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, we gotta give a shout out because we got them regulars. We got them regulars that are our TikTok family, but they didn't came over here to YouTube. So we shout out Sacred MAGA. We got Yunky. We got our brother Shahid. I know Mary was in here as well. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you start from the start, you come in the middle. We appreciate your time because, of course, y'all know we be in consistency. Like I said, with saving money and wealth, consistency is the same when you're doing content creation and we're trying to grow our channels. We know that what we're doing, we know what the information we're giving, as well as our energy is the bomb, and people need to get it. So you guys continue to come. We appreciate you. Share when you come on, and we will continue to keep making sure that we give you the news, culture, trending topics, Proud Mary style, which is nice when we can and rough when we must. Because y'all know, and that's what we call Proud Mary. So until next time, y'all have a good rest of y'all evening. See y'all on TikTok, y'all.